Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ostiarius, but you can call me Osti, and welcome back for more The Great Ace Attorney. We should reach the end of the second case today, unless it's actually secretly gigantic. But I don't know how much else there is to it. There is still a decent web of mysteries for us to solve. There is still a decent web. Let's see. Before, let me just check my courtroom. We didn't stream yesterday. We are having one day empty, so I do want to just recap myself. The poison, the tea coin, the envelope that was from Miss Green Olive. Olive Green. Sorry. William Shakespeare, yeah. And Duncan Rose, which is all connected to the criminal Selden, who has a bunch of secret money on the second floor, which Duncan access to and gave Olive Green a key. William Shakespeare is trying to get that money, and to do that, he's willing to try to kill everyone that is there so he can take the room. He could not take the room initially after Duncan died because Natsume grabbed the room in pretty much the same day. So he didn't have time to start talking to Garidad about the transfer. Okay. I think I remember most of what I think I need to remember. And Battle of 1-6 is still a boring prosecutor. Okay. Oh yeah, we do have to deal with Suzuki. Powerful, bubblant jumping jacks. Oh, let me put this cable here, sorry. Sorry if you make it noise. Okay, now everything's good. Oh, Mr. Natsume, I'm so pleased just for you. Local student Naruhodo Esquire, and non-local judicial assistant Mikotoba Esquire. Now, finally, at long last, there can be proof. Proof that I'm innocent. Proof that my tea is innocent. Good morning, my dear Carlos. Oh, you are here. Herlock shows. Are we going to start the second day of courtroom? No, we just have the second day of courtroom, and now we're gonna have another investigation segment. Yeah? Yes. May you drink my tapped tea and fall forever silent. I thought that the tea was innocent. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came. How wonderful. Please, savor this derision. I know what you're all thinking. No, we have the investigation day where we check the rooms. And then we have the courtroom where we talk about the tea coin. And then we did a full investigation while they were examining the tea coin. And then we have the courtroom where we proved that the tea was not poisoned. And actually, he may have been poisoned by blowing the gas pipe. And now we're gonna have a third investigation. Okay. Please, savor the Elysium. Or are we just taking like a 1 hour break? I don't remember the ending. Please, savor the Elysium. I know what you're all thinking. Good morning, he says, when it's nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clearly across your face. Let me just move this circle so I can just stay closer. Okay. Okay. Let me just... Okay, yes. Nobody said or thought anything of the sort. True is, I was determined that today would be the day. As lips seduced me last night, I thought. Tomorrow, for once, I shall not oversleep. I shall rise early and be present in the court to support my companions. Let me move this back a little bit. Yes. The spirit and determination have a beauty of it on its own, does it not? Oh yes. Sorry, it's just I'm messing with the microphone before the start of the stream, and I should have locked it in a good position before we started. Oh yes. Sorry if you're hearing bizarre noises because of manipulating the microphone. Let me just look at the OBS and see if there is nothing happening. Okay. Oh yes. And then I begin to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep? I queried. Why, time after time, do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It's so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Well, is that not an astute insight into the matter? Oh. Okay. Oh, yes. Here. Then. No. Fucking. Why are you not staying in place? You always stay in place. Yes. Upon which, realizing, I attempt an experiment, and didn't sleep a wink all night. And the results? By first light, I was exhausted and began to be assaulted by the fits of drowsiness. Shocking. And so, the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. A good night's sleep is quite simply essential. You need to experiment to learn that. Yeah, I think most of us probably knew that already. What did it fall? Something fell on my table. Oh god, it fell behind the table. That's gonna be a mess. What are the presuppose I proved by experimentation? That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method. I'm pretty sure someone has already scientifically checked that. Also, the microphone is now too close. It's speaking. Okay, no, now it's bad angle. Oh, fucking sake! Why did I touch the microphone today? Why couldn't I have done that in a day where I was not going to stream? Okay, so now the cable should be stay. The volume should be pretty much the same as close to usual. I'm gonna mess on that on the editor. Again, sorry about doing this. I shouldn't have done this. Okay. What other presuppose I prove by experimentation? That, my dear fellow, is a scientific method. And yes, one more thing. Ah, yes, one more thing. Do you remember this? Ah. Of course, it's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh, you didn't manage to. It was a laborious task, as the bottle was nearly empty. But such inconveniences do not hinder shots. I managed to confirm that this is indeed strychnine. I am really bad with some words. So I was right. Perhaps, though of course such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilty. I shall leave the bottle in your care now, but licking the inside of the neck is not recommended. Ah, could I have a word? You could in a minute. Nothing unusual. Okay. This is the point of me hearing so much about strychnine. There are a few remnants on the bottom of the bottle. Look. You must not be tempted. Of course not, as long as we don't lose this trial. No, even if we lose the trial. No, we must not lose the trial in the first place. Make it our mind. Let me drink the poison in peace. I don't actually think I can see any liquid. Why can I examine one in this position but not in this position? Weird. Okay. Who is the mysterious person? Oh, Gregson. Gregson? Gregson! How good are you to come? Forget it. Excuse me. Wait a minute, Inspector. I don't wish to make a nonsense of myself. From the look on your face, I say someone else who you think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspector, please speak freely. Pretend that I'm not here. Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me. Do you have the results, Inspector, of the investigation of Shakespeare room? Not yet? Shouldn't be long now, though. No, I'm here about something else. A dead convict, actually. Oh, Sheldon? We're gonna finally talk about it? Oh, you mean the man that from this newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Mr. Shakespeare room? A name by the name of, yes, Selden, not Sheldon, Selden. I went through the archives at the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that, well, it caught my eye. Something that caught your eye? What, Inspector? What? Tell us. I copied out the relevant parts for you, so you can read it for yourself. Thank you. These documents. Let's go check. Also, a bottle found in the possession of Miss Green with traces of slow-acting poison strychnine inside. Scotland Yard files on the convicted criminal Selden. That includes a newspaper article about him dying of illness in prison. Okay, so this is a newspaper article, which I'm gonna double check both sides in a second. Investigation finding in relation to Selden. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder. Suspected. 9 of natural causes while in prison. His final moments witnessed only by his cellmate. They estimate £1,000 worth of loot. His store remains unrecovered. Okay, so nothing new. Manchester Strangeways Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours this morning. He have been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmates, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. Condemned criminal dies of natural causes in prison. And now, doesn't interrupt. Not the committee sudden but natural cause this morning. He has been suffering with alerts by shots of okay. I believe both of the papers are saying the same thing. Okay. Now it's good to double check. These documents include the details that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shakespeare's room. I'll rearrange everything in the courtroom so we don't have duplicate information. Okay, so the game is acknowledging. Nice. Why are you giving us a copy of his important file, though? Well, you're the one who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? Just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion. Oh, Scotland Yard's working are so wonderful. Indeed, my dear fellow, and the spectre here is a shining diamond in its crown. A shining diamond in the rough, maybe. Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. You are a nice person, Gregson. Aside from what you did in the 50 case in this first game, do I blame you? You're just doing your job, and we were talking about secret government information in public. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court proceedings are about to resume. Okay, it was just a break. Make your way to the courtroom at once. Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with interesting for the public gallery. Not nodding off at all, certainly not. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Mustache in floods of tears, personally, so the best of luck to you. Local student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes, Mr. Natsue? It's time, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shakespeare. This is gonna be the final battle. Okay, so this is going to be the end now. As soon as we create the connection. We're really gonna accuse Miss Green. I won't really have saved Suzaki-san until I have exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on here. Until it all comes to head now, you can do it, Ryonosuke. You have to. Sorry, but it's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Ryonosuke. You have to. Interesting. At this point, he should already be considered innocent, because like the golden rule of Ace Attorney should not apply. Of we have to find the killer, so he is innocent. Like we have proven it was not him. He did not put the poison. I guess. What were their arguments? Even if the tea was not poison and the poison was in the gas pipe. He's still the #1 suspect to have put the poison in the gas pipe anyway. And now we are shifting that on Olive Green. Okay. I'm remembering stuff. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. Before a recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense. Namely, the victim of this case was heard here only a few days ago. Namely, the victim of the case we heard here only a few days ago is the true perpetrator of this incident. A reckless, rash, prejudiced charge of wrongdoing, in my opinion, my lord. However, you should not have the right to use the word prejudiced. The prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores. Thank you for that backhand consideration. A rather cold assessment. Sorry about that. From the Honorable British prosecutor, I must say. So, Lord Van Zix, is the new witness present and ready to take the stand? Ready and waiting in the witness antechamber, my lord. Very well. Bailiff, bring the witness in. Witness, state your name and occupations for the court, please. William Shakespeare, my liege. For my occupation, I can only say that I will be a tragic victim to be pitied. Currently unemployed, in other words. Olive Green. Oh, sorry. I'm a fledgling artist. Well, no. Not a fledgling, really. A hopeless failure with too weak spirit to admit she has no talent, I suppose. Also currently unemployed, in other words. What a couturier. Couturier. Every single time we stream this game, I'm seeing a new word. I don't want to use the word learning because I don't remember the shit after we are done. Coterie. Group of individuals. An association, a group, okay. Mr. Shakespeare. My lord, I am the humble servant. I'm afraid that you're no longer merely the victim in this affair. The possibility has been raised that you are in fact the assailant, intent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you. I would not see. I would for naught else. My lord. And Miss Green? Yes. You are aware of the reason you have been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume? Yes, the officer did explain. He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon. And do you accept the charge, Miss Green? I don't know anything about any poisoning. And I don't know anything about this man. Come, lady. Die to live. Very lie, I know not thy prickly, pigmented personage. Very well, let us proceed with the matter at hand. That being, to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair. That's very strange indeed. Why would you suspect me? I barely ever go to East End anyway. It so happens that I passed by that neighbor 6 days ago, that's all. And on the night that this man was poisoned, I was still in the hospital fighting for my life. Yes, having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside of the Garded household. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days. I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife, though through no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion. What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing. Your energy may be better spent worrying about some random knife attacks, I feel. At this point in time, all that appears to connect you with Miss Shakespeare Loggins is the Briar Road incident of 6 days ago. That is why we would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened. Oh no, the incident 6 days ago. You mean you want me to relive that awful accident? Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shakespeare. But what happened 6 ago is nothing to do with me being poisoned. I wonder how your Shakespeare-like style of speech, how was it written in Japanese? Let us proceed then. The witness will present their formal testimony to the court. My monitor, little close. The subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road, the evening of the 17th of February. 17th of February. Okay. The only thing we have from that day would be this map. Yeah. That's Miss Login, Merchant Street, Bourbon Books, Yore Books, Calabash Road, Bryan Road, here. Okay. It was 6 days ago at about 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their login. I was at the tavern on the eve of which you now speak, but I have been bespoke my supper. It was the first time I have been in that area. I have a little matters to attend to, that's all. Anyway, I was admitted straight to the hospital, so I knew nothing about all of this business. Okay, so now we have to show the photo of your boyfriend. Yes, a second incident inside a week at what I believe to be amply described as the haunted logins. One can only presume that is a most unfortunate coincidence. You know how you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shakespeare. It was the following morning when I have awoken that I learned of the dire events. Mary, what a commotion did the officer of the law make on the floor above mine. When Suzuki-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. As suspected, there is nothing connected to these two witnesses but happenstance. True, it does seem as though they are unrelated at first glance, but I'm not so sure. There is something lurking in the shadow here. I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it. Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses if you wish. Yes, my lord? It was 6 days ago at 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidence. Oh, let's do... Oh, the scroll mouse can work. Okay. Let's do the pressing. I'm very well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry I have to go through that. It was awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. And I woke up to find the case have been solved and the culprit arrested. Yes, the incident has been resolved already. Perhaps it would help you to consider it a bad dream that ended with her awakening and should not be forgotten. Yes, but I suppose so. Thank you. But before I put her completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. You must tell the court exactly what happened that day, for us to arrive at the truth about this new case. The trouble is there's nothing to tell really, I was just walking along the pavement. Coincidentally, I happened to be outside the house where the men in this case have their login.
Hold it!
What were you doing there that day though? What do you mean? I love how shifty her eyes are. The art school you attended, was it called? Yes, the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brickstone Road, which is some 10 stops away from the scene on the underground. I believe you mentioned that you also live in Brickstone Road, is that right? So why would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of East End? Well, because... Oh, yeah, of course. I thought it might make a nice picture. The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas. That's right. I happen to like the crumbling look of of that part of the town. Perhaps quaint will have been less granted term. Oh, because of the crumbling. Okay. The point is, she's definitely hiding something. Yes, it seems she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth. She's trying to hide why she was there that evening. It must mean there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key. And you, Mr. Shakespeare, on the evening of the incident 6 days ago, would you tell the court exactly what you were doing? It would be my pleasure, sir. Was it the tavern on the evening on which thou spokes? For I have a bespoke my slumber.
Hold it!
A tavern? Which one? The slug and salad, where I did tire. Tis the jewel in the East End. Oh, sorry. A little unexpected, I feel. Huh? What do you mean, Lord Van Zix? The slug and salad offers unusual fine dining for the locality at the least. Not an establishment you expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room. It's true, the menu lists premium crusts of bread and glass of water in different levels of cloudiness. I would have expected the grubby's grubbery in the local vicinity to be more appropriated for your means. Watery soup, mush peas, or rather, soap water and a pea-like mush. All equally appetizing. I just want to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that? How different can water really be? Perhaps there is a more plausible explanation. A specific reason why I have to go to that particular establishment. Agree. The fact that on that day of all days he dined at a place he wouldn't normally, it does stand out. The Mr. Shakespeare's own actions on the day of the incident were slightly suspicious. I wonder if I have some evidence that can explain those actions. I don't think we have anything right now. Yeah, I don't think we have anything right now. I wish we did, but I can't think of anything at the moment. If we find a clue that could explain why Mr. Shakespeare went there, we must present it to the court. Yes, absolutely. If that is all on the matter, counsel would ask Miss Green to reiterate her next statement. It was the first time I've been in the area. I have a little matter to attend to. That's all.
Hold it!
A little matter, Miss Green. Please elaborate. It was nothing really. It's not worth mentioning. Remember, please mention to... If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital. Oh. It was related to the card you were holding. Green! What's up? What was that? She clearly just had something. Okay, this is just a flashback. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross.
What?
What's the matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan. Pursue. Mr. Shakespeare, do you have something to share with the court? To be or not to be? That is the question. Ah, pray forgive. The great bard words sprinting from within me with near thought. Don't tell me it's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps? Well, no, it was nothing at all. Presumably you know the name, though, Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. I would if it were so, but sadly, nay. Logging can be lonely occupation. My luggage fellows be rarely known to me. So I haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in that room, just one floor above yours. Miss Green? Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong? The card that was mentioned before, containing the note, do you have it upon your person? Yes, but I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really. Before you dispose, this court will take it as evidence, please. Okay, are we going to now acknowledge that the ripped part is... The envelope has been ripped open careless. Miss Green struck me the top to open more neatly. Ah, what is it? The way the envelope is torn. I'm almost sure I have seen this excessive shape somewhere. Oh, you told me that you were thinking of this piece of evidence. Exactly. That's it. Try to match them up. They go together perfectly. The torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs with this card. The note has been... Okay. Why not fuse them together? Because you need the broken half to be something that is marked as inside the room, so it's a different... For a different case, a different scenario. Of course, that's what links Mr. Shakespeare and Miss Green. It's Duncan Ross. Now, what do you have your testimony, please, Miss Green? Anyway, I have been admitted straight to the hospital, so I knew nothing about all of this business. The envelope seems to have been ripped apart. The envelope fits perfectly with a torn off piece from the scene of the crime. Do we have... No, we don't have anything that says... I never seen her before. Let me just repress everything because sometimes in this game you have to press everything multiple times and I want to find where was that pursue. Because I want to see the conversation if we don't pursue.
Hold it!
I think it was in his No, it was on her dialogue. Was it on number 4 maybe? No other pursues. No.
Hold it!
Oh yeah, there was also the place where we could present evidence. Oh, do we have to present here? Say that there was a connection between the two of them. Shakespeare. Yes, sir. On the day in question, it is not the cause that you visit the Slogan Salad, a place you don't normally patronize, for a very particular reason. I don't know what you're talking about, pray. If thou hast some purpose, speak. Very well, I will present the court with evidence. Does you go there to meet her? I believe this card reveals the answer. My lord, Miss Green card, do you mean? That's right, my lord, it reads. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to this Logan Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Not tell anyone else about this letter or the meeting. It's a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shakespeare, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shakespeare? Well... Excuse me? Can I say something? Ooh, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Also, yes, Miss Green? That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it? Well, when you think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely... My lord, may I? May you what, Miss Green? I'd like to make something very clear about that card. Very well, you may amend your testimony to include details about the particular note. This note was delivered to me at my address. It has nothing to do with the odd man next to me. Okay, let's create the connection. The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago, this note was delivered to your address. Upon carrying out the instruction in the note, you found yourself in the hospital. Yes, I did. It's terrible. Everything that happened to me. Yes, it's terrible. If it's all true, that is. What do you mean? Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope. Oh, is it? And it so happens it fits perfectly. It fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received. Where did you find that? Mr. Shakespeare room. In my room? He didn't know it. No. Maybe he didn't. Okay. The Shakespeare. Do you? No, he was. Because on the photo, he was still not here. So it was added to the room after he was poisoned. You perhaps remember this note from somewhere. Well, your actions that afternoon follows the instruction in the note to the letter. Come to this Logan Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shakespeare. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green? What did I do? As the torn off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shakespeare's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession? I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all. There is only one explanation. You broke into the Mr. Shakespeare room and stole it, and that's when she opened it by ripping it off. I want to see what is his accessory here so much. You did what? Sorry, does has what? You broke, I mean, thou were in my room? What on earth do you want with me? It would seems that both witnesses need to testify again. Miss Green? Yes. Once you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure for the suffering you have endured. I'm sure for the suffering you have. Well, sorry. Once you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure for the suffering you have endured in recent events. Anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind. I know. Okay, so it is just a small hair accessory. Okay. Very well then, witness, you will give formal testimony again. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claimed to have received. The anomaly of the note. I do remember now. It was a week ago, peradventure. The note was delivered to me. On the day written therein, I did start the long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Therefore, on the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fella, I did see the note have vanished. I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can point out the villain here, and as for the torn off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it. You now claim to have received those letters, do you, Mr. Shakespeare? Wait, this so, my lord? I would swear to have it set upon the table in my herbal loggings. Yet, it is clear to me now that since I have returned from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it. Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony was a lie. Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying. I beg your pardon. I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said, and fledgling artists don't lie. A note was delivered to my address, besides. We all know who the liar around here is. That is true, Miss Green. How do you explain the facts? This part of the I don't see why I should explain. Sorry. I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is just to say what happened, that's all. It's your job to give the explanations and the proof. You, the fledgling lawyer. The fledgling will do his best. Evidently, my learned friend cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. Well, counsel? I'm ready, my lord. Very well. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witness. This Green clearly did break into the Shakespeare room. There can be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note. Yes, two facts that are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all of this. And it's not a pretty one. Okay, the anomaly of the note. Sorry, just a second. Sorry about that. I do remember now. It was a week ago. Okay, let's start
Hold
first.
it!
And can you shed any light on the contents of the note at all? Nah, sire. It's so strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with a knowledge of literature as great as mine, verily, it is impenetrable. But Mr. Duncan have logs in the same household as you. In effect, he was your neighbor, so surely you knew him. Ah, if the choice between I knew him and I knew him not, then it is with foreboding that I forced to declare we were by some small measure acquainted. Despite your claim, though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the slug and sell it. Presumably that has nothing to do with your knowledge of literature. Mary, not will have the better of me, sire, save for the lure of curiosity. Not will have the better of me, sire, save for the lure of curiosity. It was true, I was compelled by my own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Yet in the end, my curiosity was not satiated. On the day right in their inn, I did tire the long hour at this Slug and Salad, yet no one came.
Hold it!
So even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared. Well, yes, sir. It is a style size. Really? You pause for a moment before you answer. In true, when thou asked whenever nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall. Really, you mean to tell me the court has somebody... You mean to tell the court that someone did appear after all? I was not alone that night at this Logan Salad, my lord, no. It is returning to me now. I did treat my lips to a most clear water and mine innards to a premium crust of bread. And now around me, dancing great many companions. What do you mean? Flies, sir, flies. Lord! In the name of Beelzebub, what were they? Fairies, perchance, from a midsummer night dream? Come to taunt me. I think they were just flies. I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me? A little bit.
Hold it!
Okay. When exactly did you notice have gone missing? Such idle thoughts never occurred in my mind. I was busy with greater ideas. In other words, you didn't notice. Several days have passed between your outing at the tavern and Mr. Natsume's visit to your room. Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime in that interval. Such idle thoughts. Never occurs my mind. Never occurs my mind? Such idle thoughts never occupy my mind. I'm buzzed with great ideas. And yet, during that time, Miss Green was comatose in the hospital, was she not? Clearly, then, she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shakespeare's room. Yes, of course. It's all some sort of misunderstanding, isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor? You have so far failed to give a satisfying explanation as to how you came by the note. I'm not here to advocate for defense, madam. I won't tolerate inconsistency in your story. You would do well to remember that. Oh dear me. What Lord Van Ziek's getting at? Okay, next one.
Hold it!
It says that this note was actually delivered to Mr. Shakespeare about a week ago. Oh, does it? But for some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Shakespeare's login.
Objection!
For what reason would the witness have done that? Well, I won't deny that Miss Green possession of the note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some other way, any further pursuit of this note is meaningless. Miss Green could only have come to be possession by stealing from Mr. Shakespeare's room, yet no such obvious reasons why she would have done such a thing. Let me just put something here. Alright. What if there was some other reason she broke into his logins, though? Yes, we should pursue that idea. The closer I can feel, we're close to a breakthrough. I can point out the villain here, and for that turnout piece of envelope, I don't know anything about it.
Hold it!
So, you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter? I'm a fledgling artist. Artists are nearly always introverted characters. Introverted? Phew, that fledgling thou readily cast aspirations about my nature. I have no idea what he said. I am just like I am not an introvert. Yet, I am an angel, a seraphy. Birds do harmonize with my song, and the winds thou frolic on my wings. On my wing. Oh, pity. What the fuck are your dances, my dude? Why thou accuse one so pure of heart, ample woman? Pure of heart? I don't think so. Even a fledgling like me can see you're just a failure. Tragedy. Thou shalt not know the true heart of an artist, until thy instructions hereafter by death. Oh, the days, oh, the years, alas, the enlightened thee, thou must wait so long and in vain. You have so many dances. Naruto, interject with some clever remark. This is their chance to shine. I'm no Shakespeare actor, Mrs. Otto. No, as far as I can tell, the only thing that is going to resolve this argument is evidence. Okay, and now the hint. 35. Okay, so this. Yeah, the photo of Duncan. Okay. The mission no one came. I don't know if it's, why would I? Let me present you with hiding.
Objection!
No. Okay, I want to point that the reason why she did it was because of Duncan. Let's look at all the sentences. Another delivery to me, the day was written, I went to the salon, no one came. Thereafter on the evening I showed the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note have vanished. I don't know what you mean. You think I stuck into his main room? Why would I? I can point out the villain, and as far as the torn off piece of envelope, I don't know anything about it. Okay. So we need to present her with the reason why she would. Poison him? No, it's too early for that. I really thought it was going to be the photo because we were going to present Duncan. This probably never will. Do I put the envelope again to imply that the reason was because you think he could be the killer of your boyfriend, fiancé? Let's try doing those on this one.
Objection!
No, okay, makes sense. And the last one I'm gonna try. No, okay, let me read the hint then. The Mrs. Green did in fact break into the Shakespeare room, and that's where she found the letter. Yes. The two more or less foregone conclusions that led me to one terrifying conclusion. Terrifying, yes. I'm afraid to say that the outcome of this cross-examination may change how we look at the case. Was there any pursuit that I missed? I don't think so, but let me recheck. Because I remember in the first game there was a case where you have to press everything and then press again to get the prompt, which annoyed me a lot, but okay. I just want to check to see if there's any place we can interview. Okay, not really. No.
Hold it! Objection!
Okay, is that one that we already went through this?
Hold it!
It's the dancing, it's the argument. Okay, if it's not what I want to... no. Don't think so, maybe. No. No. The poison is for later. Can I open the note or something? No. The note was delivered to me. The emanation of the company of the Japanese fellow did see the note have vanished. I don't know what you mean. Why is Buddha is looking in his room? You can put the victim. It's for that town of people. I don't know anything about it. Have I tried present? Okay, I'm gonna present this here. I think we already tried that. Yeah. And I cannot present people. I do think it's this one. The pound, she doesn't care about the money. He cares about the money.
Objection!
It was the poison. Okay. I thought about the poison before, but I thought we were first gonna establish that she suspected he killed Duncan first. But aside from the photo, we really don't have anything else here for this segment aside from the poison and sudden it's too early. Yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle, and thought the content split during the course of, and though the content slipped during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. According to defense independent analysis, the liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine. What? Strychnine? The very same poison that affected Mr. Shakespeare. Huh? Miss Green, you broke into this man's logins, and for one reason and one reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds the gas lamp into the Mr. Shakespeare room with poison. I love the expression on his face here. Can this be? You broke into my room. I mean, it may seem incredible to the court, but from the remaining clues, there is only one logical conclusion that we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shakespeare's life with poison was you. Miss Olive Green. Oh dear, dear. Oh dear me. Order, order, order. Counsel, are you serious suggest this woman put the poison at the end of the gas pipe with the intent to kill? Yes, my lord, there is no other way to explain the facts. But if Miss Green did indeed set this audio trap 6 days ago, and the victim have put his mouth to the pipe that very evening, as expected, the attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely. Well, that's a good point. Really, Naruhodo? Really, you're not gonna go with the whole there was no way for him to kill Natsume because Natsume was in prison? Perhaps not, my lord. I beg your pardon. There was a significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the incident on Briar Road. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of the ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at that time. Lord Van Zix? And of course, the following morning, there was more activity at Mr. Shakespeare's address. Oh, yes. You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder? That's right. And as the defense already proposed it, Mr. Shakespeare was meddling with the gas in the pipes for a very sinister reason in himself. To cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant. But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant survey by the police. Surveillance. In these circumstances, Mr. Shakespeare had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe. His intended victim being in a prison cell, with the need to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipe lay dormant. And then, 2 days ago now, the situation changed again. Right, Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end. The trial in which the man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back was duly acquitted. That resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, the gas stove mysteriously went out, and Mr. Shakespeare was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poison that was present on the mouth of the gas pipe have been put there in the victim's room some 4 days earlier. Mary. Oh, she has a little stove. With that new understanding, it becomes clear that this letter was all part of the plan. What plan? The court will record a note giving instructions to visit the Sluggan Salad at 5 o'clock. And that the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for the instructions are now clear. To ensure that the lawyer would not be at home at the stated time. To make sure I wasn't home. Yup. Exactly. While you're out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed. You mean to say that letter was written by Miss Green? Yes. And in order to cover her tracks, you took it away with her when she had left. Just after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room. Okay, so the piece of the letter not being in the photo here is just artistic mistake, same as not having the second half of the soap in the floor. It's not actually a clue, it's just a mistake. Okay. Order. What do you have to say for yourself, witness? Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me? Miss Green's motive should be obvious. It's all tied up with someone whose name you have heard several trials during the course of this trial. So, that's what's behind all this. You will share your apparent understanding with the court, please, counsel? Which person is behind their motivation?
Take that!
Duncan Ross. That's right, before the defendant, Mr. Natsume, took up the residence in the logins at Mrs. Garidad, someone else was raiding the room. Mr. Duncan Ross. I knew I have heard the name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago when the man died in strange circumstances at the haunted logins. That does ring a bell. Oh, I remember now. The young man they claim was strangled by the convicted curse or some such. Clearly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind, nor it was an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shakespeare blowing into the gas pipe and causing gas to leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple. Well, what do you know? The world is so unfair. Curses, curious deaths, that's all people care about. If it's an interesting story they want to know, it doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved. And once they're bored, just a month later, once the story lost its appeal, everyone forgets him. You mean Duncan was... Miss Ross was Miss Green's fiancé. Fiancé? You may have not known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shakespeare. But she knows exactly who you are all along. Because you are her sworn enemy, the murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry. Marry? Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shakespeare, you smear poison all over the end of the gas pipe? She said... This is all quite extraordinary. Am I correct in my understanding that now you now accuse both parties, counsel? Each on different counts of murder? No, she didn't murder. She was an attempt. Yes, my lord, that is correct.
Objection!
Inhaling so deeply, it appears that my fledgling learned friends has taken in a lungful of dubious gas that caused his judgment to be clouded. What? Why would Mr. Shakespeare have wanted to kill these loggers, as you say? You have completely failed to provide a motive to substantiate your accusations against the man. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Ripper, my liege. I have been slighted. Just lies, all lies. I deny every utterance. And you will have to forgive me, Mr. Naruhodo, sir. But I don't intend to admit to anything either. Miss Green, I'm sure you think I'm being very rude, but I'm not gonna be sent to the gallows for the likes of these scoundrels.
Objection!
But you broke into the main room. You didn't do to smell poison the pipes. What was your reason? I thought I'd have a look around, that's all. Sorry. You're right, I suspected him. So I thought perhaps I might find evidence or something in his room. Evidence that it was him who took Duncan's life. Oh, villainess of villainy or tyrant or resident of woman. But in any case, whereby I leave my room, I do turn the key in the lock. That was the whole place was falling apart. The locks on the door are no different. Duncan showed me once how to unlock the door with some turns and a piece of wire. Oh awfulness, oh artfulness, oh tyranny, oh profanity of woman. We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion, but for now, tell the court what you found, what evidence your search revealed. Well, I spotted the note that I sent him lying on the floor. When I picked up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it, I discovered a secret hiding place. Huh? Yes, we also discovered that hiding place. Inside we found a newspaper cutting, photograph, and an empty tin box. Yes, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty. There was something in it. Yes. This key. This rather nice key. What are you doing with that? What the? Every ounce of color has drained from his face. Give it here, give it me now. It's mine, I inherited it. What was that, witness? What did you say? You inherited it. No, What is all this about? He inherited that key. It was obviously important to you, since you've gone such lengths to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what's it for, but you took something precious from me. So I took something precious from you. So what is it? So what if it means you can't open something now? I don't care. Give it back this minute. Give it to me. Calm yourselves, witness. So Mr. Shakespeare had tried, and in one case succeed, to take the life of the two loggers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that happened. True, there appears to be no motive to support the accusation against Mr. Shakespeare at first, but considering everything we now know, I think there is actually something that could explain it. What? I need to recall every piece of evidence, everything I have seen and heard, because I'm sure I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs through all these events. In that case, I must demand you present evidence. What is that? Then explain the motivations. That's an official police report, is it not? The Selden files. How did you get a hold of that? Selden? The now sadly deceased Mr. Ross and the defendant Mr. Natsume have only one thing linking them. The fact that they have logins in the same room. Well, yes, we know this certainly. A room that was formerly occupied by Selden. Until, that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries. Just a sec. Okay, in multiple burglaries. I see. So happened that the convict Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died. The sum £1,000 worth of loot that he stole, which as yet remains to be found. Ah, yes, of course, it's coming back to me now. It's written on this file here. £1,000 lost en route to hell. That was how the papers summed it up. And it seems that one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. Not hard to imagine Selden entrusting the inmate with his most closely guarded secret. The location of the stolen loot and perhaps a key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in. You mean this key? Mr. Shakespeare, it was you, wasn't it? You were the capital offender's side when he died, were you not? What are you talking about? It's a false charge, I tell you, a false charge. The name of the inmate who was with Sheldon at his death isn't noted in this file, but a simple telegram to the prison where he died would quickly tell us how false the charge really is. But even if that's true, why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's logins? There is only one explanation for that, my lord. It was in that very room that Selden hid his loot. So, it all comes out. Yes, I have established that all of Mr. Shakespeare's subsequent actions start to make perfectly sense. When he was let out of the prison following Selden's death, he made immediately for Mrs. Gallibet logins in the hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired army man was unable to offer him an accommodation of his choice. Sorry. The accommodation of his choice. But Selden's old room have already been let out somebody else, Mr. Duncan Ross. Which is why Mr. Shakespeare subsequently devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he was successfully, he presumably intended to inquire about switching to the nearly vacant room. However, a jittery someone have beaten him to it. Mr. Natsume, the defendant of this case, no less. So, you decide to use the ploy of the case again, didn't you, Mr. Shakespeare? This time to oust Mr. Natsume. All for one simple and avaricious reason. To get your hand on the 1,000 pounds of loot left behind by the dead convict. You're gonna change outfits now? And start talking like a normal person? Looks like I'm gonna snuff it before. Sorry. Listen, I want you to have me loot. Anything's fine, to stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. And it's hidden in the room where I was logging. When they got me. Here, this is the key to it. Take it. Always stay on one step ahead, mate. See you in hell, I guess. Shakespeare. It's mine. What did he say? It's mine. That loot is mine. Mr. Shakespeare. It's all lies. I don't accept any of this. Why should I? After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fella. For sure, I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? If I don't admit to it, there is nothing you can do. You can't arrest me, for the time being anyway. Very lie, you can't arrest the victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, we can, it's a jury. The jury can decide whatever the fuck they want. So close, I just need a few more hours. I swear to myself that I got my hands on it, and I can almost taste it now. You really think I'll just give up? There's no question in my mind, this man is guilty through and through. But he seems to be utterly intoxicated by the idea of that loot. I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he will never admit what he has done, Mr. Naruhodo. There is a way. There is one way we can. There is one way I can finish him. He's already committed the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot, which means all I have to do is find it first. A fine plan. Were it not for the fact that the police, thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. If it's there, it must have been very well hidden indeed. Without conclusive evidence, I cannot rule. If only there was some way we could find the convicted loot quickly. If only this was a juror courtroom. It's not the final piece of this complex puzzle. This is the final piece of this complex puzzle. But I think we might have in our possessions already. Rather, I think we may very well have something that can help us find where their loot is hidden. Lord? Yes, Counsel? The defense would like to make a proposal about how to find the late convict hidden loot. I believe we already have in possession something that could give us a clue as to its whereabouts. It's our last chance. Besides, we used the same technique once already, and it definitely paid off. Very well, let the court rear. What can we use? I don't know. The handprint? But no, that was... The last person who touched Seldon touched it months ago. This list of books? No. This map? No. The torn end of the envelope? No. The bar of soap? No. The pair of teacups? No. The crime scene? No. The medical records? No. The gas meter? No. I don't think the drawing would work, but honestly, it's probably going to be. The photo? No. Poison? No. No. It's gonna be the drug. Ah, I hate that. This shit should not work months after. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, those are Mr. Shakespeare's handprints on the wall of his logins. That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defense independent investigation of the scene. Based on a wonderful discovery in the field of forensic science by the great detective Mr. Sholmes. A great detective, so is this some kind of joke? Do you really think I'm going to be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title? I should think the great bard ought to recognize such a title when he hears one, Mr. Shakespeare. Perhaps we should compete for the honor of most ridiculous title? Ah, this Sherlock Holmes himself. What are you doing here? Your usual haunts are the filthy back street of the capital, are they not? Ah, Mr. Ripper, it's been too long, and I see your complexion has worsened since we last met. The Sholmes. He does know Lord Van Zieks, then... Oh, enough to say something like that in any case. The Sholmes. I thought you may be heralded as a great detective by the population. So you may be heralded as a great detective by the population at large. That does not give you the right to come and go in my courtroom as you see fit. If I may, my lord, Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us uncover vital clues in this case already. Clues? I call them skin prints, my lord. My method identifies every location touched by an individual under scrutiny. It is the method by which we were able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipes activities. You need only a small sample of something the individual has previously touched to make the indicator solution. In your case, I use a teacup that you have been holding. Let me tell you. So now, Mr. Natsume, Naruhodo. Yes. What am I to use as a sample to make the indicator solution this time? Thank you for offering your help, Sholmes. The sample to help locate. We don't have anything he could have touched, but so I guess a person? We need something of sudden in order to create the indicator solution to find his loot. Something the conviction own happens to be in possession of someone listening in the court records. One word, Mr. Naruhodo. Your powers of reasoning appear to be on the up. So, which part of the person in particular? Which particular person do you have in mind? And it's the key. The idea that we can take this key months after it has passed to Shakespeare, and it then is stolen by Olive Green, and we can take that and use it to get skin prints to check a room that hasn't been touched by the person in months and have been used by two different individuals. Ah, this is so bullshit. Okay. Like that is a level of bullshit I cannot accept. Game, I'm sorry. No, no. Come on. Me? What do you mean? The key around her neck, if you please. Sorry? The key belongs to Selden. There will be remnants of secretions from the main skin on its surface that we can use. Very true. That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create the indicator solution required by Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. And find out exactly what Selden touched in that room that he used to rent. The Shakespeare, as one great to another, I assure you. The late convicted Howe is hidden somewhere in his former loggings. I shall uncover it in no more than 30 minutes. So, Mr. Shakespeare, the truth is well within your grasp now, and as such, you will never get your hand on Selden's stolen wealth. In that case, I'll gladly let Mr. Sholmes have this key. No, give the key to me, the detective shall not have it. It's over, Mr. Shakespeare. No. You're out of options. There is only one thing left for you to do. Admit you're guilty. Oh, we're finally getting an outburst. The first game really lacked on those. Fourth case didn't have one, third case didn't have one, second case didn't have one. Only the first and fifth on the first game. Also, a bit weak, but okay. I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room, that's all. So you have the time to find the convict of stolen goods. Yet, after you kill the young man, you still didn't move into the room. I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused. Why? I was 3 months behind with the rent, for one thing. So guy that really has to put a lot with you. And he had the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, putting the room out of action for a while. And then the Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign a new leash. Poor Mr. Natsume, what unfortunate timing. Then, 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road when the Japanese fella got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance, but it wasn't to be. No, the scene was sealed off and guarded by the police night and day. And if I remember it rightly, Mr. Sholmes spent the whole day in there reading books. I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why on the day Mr. Natsume was acquainted and returned to his room, you also again tried the trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that fits the stove in his room. Unbeknownst to you, however, the action will lead you into a deadly trap. William Shakespeare. How does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question. From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. Well, let me tell you this. In your case, it's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you have done. Will she also be executed for this? Because she didn't murder him, it was just attempt to murder. At first, I really did think it was a terrible accident. I never forget the conversation the night before Duncan died. The gas supply in my new logins are a complete disaster, you know, Olive. The gas supply? Yeah, the stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for some reason. That's no joke. They say it's the convict's curse. Oh, Duncan, please don't stay there. I don't care how cheap it is. Alright, if it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place. There are spare rooms at my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight? No, I better not. We said we'd wait until we graduated before we told our parents, remember? But that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night, he fell victim to the gas. If only I have known it was going to happen, I would have insisted he left that horrible room that instant. But instead, all I have been left with is bitter regret. I stopped going to school, but something kept drawing me back into the house on Briar Road. I saw a stupid Eastern-looking man with a mustache coming out of the house one day when I was there. He walked up to the road to Grubbery for some food, so I followed him and sat myself down next to him. I have some water and looking soup and started to pick a quarrel with the publican. The place is cursed, I tell you, cursed. The ghost of the convict who used to live there is trying to suffocate me. I wake up in the middle of the night, freezing to death because the stove have gone out. The room is full of gas and I can hardly breathe. But the pipes have been checked, no problem there. It's like I'm the trouble, that's what they are thinking. But how could that be? Duncan was gone and... Now these men have almost suffered the same fate. Could it really be a curse? Then I remember a rumor I heard about how the gas company go around investigating the gas installations. A rumor? Oh, you mean... Yes, everyone heard the story. Sorry, yes. Yes, everyone heard the story, it seems, about how they go around checking the pipes. How anything connecting to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air into the pipework. That's when it started. A little flicker of doubt in the back of my mind that just wouldn't go away. Was it really an accident, though? Once I have an idea, it wouldn't leave me alone. It plagued me day and night. So I brought this at one of the black markets in the East End. A black market? I have never been. I just heard people talk about them. And you really can buy anything you can think there. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I have to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident, or was it murder? And our choice of method for establishing the truth was simple, but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you suspect the man of tampering with, and wait. If Mr. Shakespeare was innocent, nothing would come out of what you have done. But if he was guilty, would pay for his crimes dearly. I found out the name of the man suspected, William Shakespeare, and then I wrote him this little note. We don't need to reread it. If you have done it, I knew that would worry him enough that he'll be sure to go. So I waited to see if it worked. And of course, Mr. Shakespeare followed the instructions to the letter. I worked out where the gas pipe was straight away. So I smeared a good amount of poison I brought all around the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil work wouldn't be done. That was just some wild fantasy. Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done, and the culprit would get his just desserts. Honestly, not a bad crime. Not a bad way to kill someone. Would not recommend you to murder someone, but 3 days ago, when you were first stood in the dock before me, this whole affair seems relatively straightforward. Yes, my lord? I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we would subsequently find lurking behind the scenes. It has been a long road, my Nipponese friend. Oh, yes. And one I certainly didn't envision walking with you. Nevertheless, together we have reached the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green? Yes, my lord? You will henceforth be stripped of your freedom, as punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shakespeare. Yes, I know. And you, Mr. Shakespeare, you will be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood, and subsequently attempted murder of Mr. Soseki Natsume, here present. Mr. Naruhodo? Ah, yes? Yesterday at the hospital, when you and your friend stopped me from ending your life by drinking what was left in the poison bottle, I wasn't myself. I can't even really remember what was going through my mind. To be or not to be, I suppose. That's a question that is hard to answer, it seems. Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Miss Green. Oh, and I like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shakespeare didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least. Yeah, he's still gonna be executed and you're not. Because of you, I choose life, not death. Now we have made the truth come out at last. They should have removed the key from her emote from her model for this scene. Really, I can't thank you enough. Miss Green. Miss Suzuki Natsume. Yes, my lord? Are you ready for your second round of fireworks of the week? Accordingly, I would call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty. We are in full agreement, my lord. Turn on the fireworks! I love the fireworks. So stupid, so nice. Court is adjourned. Oh, yes, yes, at last! Divine justice duly done! Divine justice? My dear fella, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would have shaved that mustache. No, this has nothing to do with my mustache. Some say that a luxuriant mustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Scholz. Welcome student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Once again, you have saved me from doom. I'm very happy to have been able to help, Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your quinto. You are second in almost as many days. Was first acquainted with and gained affection for England. I was first acquainted with and gained affection for English literature whilst in our great homeland empire. And then, by twist of fate, I was brought to the land and then bore the fruit of that literature. Only, the city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. In the end, I confined myself to my room and lived through friendly old books. You have such a difficult time, haven't you? But a week ago now, I dragged you out of that dark, dingy room of yours, did I not? You did. And I have seen more of life in this week than in all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I have begun to see the true face of the English that so far has been hiding from me behind a wall of fog. My dear fellow, there is nothing special about the true face of the English, as you put it. Where so over once goes where it's all. Oh my fucking god! Wheresoever one goes in the world, humans are human. And there are a few genuine differences. Yes, I think you're right. And I have finally started to see that, and I have come to understand something. I have worked out why I am attracted to English literature in the first place. It made me see that whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We are just doing our best to live. Or sad, have come to feel the same way. I made a decision, Chu. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan. What? Just when we become friends here in England. What a terrible shame. I know, that does tug my heartstrings, it really does. But I decided I'd like to take everything I have learned here in Britain and write something of my own. A novel of sorts, I suppose. Oh, you'll be creating your own literature, Mr. Natsume. How wonderful. Oh, well, no, I mean, I wouldn't presume to call it literature. Why not? When that is precisely the definition, Mr. Mustache. I suppose you're right. It will, in a way, be literature. But as of now, all I know is that I'd like to try my hand at writing. I have no delusions of grandeur. I, for one, would love to read your work. Well, all things considered, it may be for the best. After all, you have once again emerged victorious from a battle with the Reaper. Ah, that's very true. And there is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor. The desire to return post haste to the perceived safety of her homeland is one I quite understand. My goodness, yes, faced with such a terrifying prospect, nobody would consider that cowardly, I'm quite sure. But that's not why I'm leaving, I mean it. That was the case that we found ourselves embroiled 6 months ago. Okay, we have not immediately established why this case has to be a secret. The only thing I can think of right now is Selden Loot has something nefarious hidden on it. But aside from that, I don't see how this could connect it to the big mystery of the game. Maybe Shakespeare? No. I was thinking it was gonna be whoever he is on reality would be the connection, but I don't think so. It could still be, yeah. I do think the connection is Selden. Especially because there is something... when we saw the newspaper, we could not zoom on the paper itself. We only have the thumbnail. But Selden does have an avatar. He does have a full mannequin. And I did thought he was gonna be like Olive Green's father or something, because he have the same chubby like silhouette as her. So he does I do think he has a 3D model of him, and which means he will be relevant at some point. Selden and his loot. What other possibilities there could be of secrets here? I can't think of anything else. None of their characters, none of the other mysteries, nothing else feels like it could be connected. But Alexander did indeed return to Japan and submitted a report about both cases to the government. It was on reading that report that Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar. And barely any time later, Susato-san was given news that she must return to Japan as well. On the back of... Oh my god, sorry. On the back of a telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. Because we uncover Selden's secret loot, I guess. Yeah, that's... I'm gonna go... I think I have to go in that direction. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happens after the trial on the following day. Okay, so there is more. The day that we uncover the loot hidden by the now deceased convicted in his former luggage. Okay, so it is the loot. Okay. Oh, well done, Mr. Shomas. How simply marvelous of you. To uncover the secret hiding place in just one day. Wasn't it supposed to take 30 minutes? As I believe I told you, my dear fellows, skin prints are extremely useful in such situations. Wouldn't you agree, Gregson? Gregsley has been happily munching his agreement in this whole time. Much in agreement this whole time, you know. Happily, I think perhaps humorously might be closer to the truth. So, It's transpired the man's fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling. And what is in it? What is exactly the loot? Let us look. If you're ready, let us examine the late burglar hall. We should not be here. What is that? Color with blood. Gems. A dog color? Gems, blood inside. This is not a B. What was the initials of the Chief of Justice? The gentleman was McGilded. I don't think this is the M. MJ, no. A color, it's huge though. Look at the gemstone set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth £1,000. Perhaps I could have it as a belt. Oh, have you noticed the inside there? There are some dark stands. You don't think there could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it. Second thought, perhaps I wouldn't have it as a belt. Of course, there's this emblem here. A large bee and a small crown. What does it signify, do you think? Oh, I haven't noticed that. I feel so I have seen that emblem somewhere before, you know. Where could it have been? That's enough of that, I think. What's the matter, Mr. Sholmes? All the color has drained from his face. Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this, aren't you? It could be valuable evidence after all. It must be kept safely under lock and key. Yes. Get your grub's hand up there to loot. Hand it over now. I'm trying to remember the first game where that emblem was used. I've never seen a color that large before. Now those jewels certainly look to be extremely valuable. That's not what stood out the most. At least that's not the most I have noticed. Those dark marks in the inside. Could they really have been blood? Well, that was a funny case, wasn't it? But it's all buttoned up now. You look very pleased, Iris. I am, because I was starting to wonder what I could use as the basis for this month's story in the magazine. This case would be perfect. It's been so fascinating. We talk about the latest installment of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I presume. The mystery of the knife in the mist, and the mustached man and the convicted Kersey, perhaps? I could make a two-part story. Oh, I cannot wait. A word please, Iris. Yes, what is it, Hurley? I'm sorry, but you cannot write about this case. It's out of question. What? Why not? It's a great case. Then I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of your two titles. The second must never be written. Is that clear? Yes.
And so it was that the second of Souseki-san's cases became buried in obscurity.
Holy shit, voice acting!
Now, looking back, I feel I understand. I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story. It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen. For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again, with an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
Fine, we have been building up the Great Exhibition for so long. I hope the Great Exhibition is a good case. I'm surprised the Great Exhibition isn't the final case of the game. Oh, achievement. You have completed the episode of the second. Okay. Let's save, and then let me take a 5 minutes break before we start the third case. This was not a bad case. I do think the start of it was a bit boring and not enough was happening. Having a whole courtroom day just for the T-coin was not that fun. But the whole second half with the entangling, the web of connections, and the murder, that second half was fun. So I am somewhat of a good mood right now. So I'll be right back. Okay. Here we are. Start the third case. We still have a little bit more than an hour left, so it should be enough for us to at least. No. To see the first investigation. Don't know. The return of the great departed soul.
The grand end of the century great exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case. And like the centerpiece of the great exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park, Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light.
Okay.
We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people.
Let's do all.
The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world.
Remove autoplay. Okay, so you have Richard on the left, the scientist in the middle. A box of William and Thurmer, W and T. We're assuming those are the initials of you two.
Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies. And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and beamed to another location, whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it was before.
Okay, so a magic trick to simulate teleportation, which will end up killing a person by mistake. Which is... wasn't the whole thing
Moments from now,
about the exhibition the German terrorist that was coming here to explode and kill everyone?
this gentleman will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you!
This one, yes! Woo! Yes! Please, that's not what I wanted.
Alright, October. suit. Courtroom records. Okay, we have nothing. And only Susato. Bruno, are you listening? Oh, sorry. What was that, Aris? What's the matter with you? You have been miles away all morning. Don't you like what I cooked for breakfast? No, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again? Today's paper, it's full of news about the Great Exhibition again. Ah, yes, the Great Exhibition. I like to go sometime. Surprised she's not there. You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down. Don't you agree, Hurley? You say something, Aris? Oh gosh, you're even more down. When did you arrive, Mr. Naruhodo? I've been here for about half an hour already. We have breakfast together. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I thought you might have known since I was here, you know, because... breakfast? Aris is quite right. You're clearly lacking vim. So much so that I didn't notice your presence. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. What? Let's see. Yes, for example, your tussle hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. Clearly can be deduced therefore that... let me stop you there, Mr. Shores, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looked like this. It always has, ever since we first met, in fact. Oh, really? How interesting. This doesn't look like a haircut it just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Thanks again. It crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now. 6 months since I was forbidden from working in court. So I have been wondering how much longer am I gonna be banned. Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Was it because of the end of the 5th case? I don't remember that. Don't you agree, Hurley? Huh? Did you say something, Aris? Back to moping. What's the matter with Mr. Shums today? He seems even more down in the dumps than me. I know, the Great Exhibition has opened. You think he'll be really excited? Oh, why don't we all go see it together? I want to, of course I do, but I can't. Not for the time being. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all. So you embroiled in some trick case that cannot be distracted from? I don't remember hearing you working on a case, Hurley. I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. Okay. 6 months ago, half a year now, I took a defense of a young girl in a trial heard at the Old Bailey. What at first seems like a simple case of murder that took place in London Paul Workery turned out to be one part of a much more far-reaching plot that involves the British government. Oh, is it because the case proved that we defended McGilded with fabricated evidence? During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable yet at the same time unforgivable mistake. Words fail me, the situation is utterly deplorable. The Naruhodo. Yes, my lord? I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial. Of course, my lord. Sorry. In the end, I have my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I have to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I have been doing. You have, haven't you, Runa? Reading all those big fat tomes about British law in your room, and the notes about Shom's old cases? Brewing Ari's special blends of tea, fetching my daily bread for me. You become something of a manservant around here. Start Start on the silverware next, Master Naruto. Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers to be to reconsider. Especially Lord Strongheart at the British Supreme Court of Whitehall. Lord Strongheart. Ah, the delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favorite fellow. He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant me permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could, and I cannot do that just sitting around here. So, we are finally gonna see Lord Chief Justice. The whole London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it? The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest work of art, and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things and the world will be watching. Oh, do you know what I like to do? I like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons. Look down on... Do you mean those things? Fly. Yes, of course, they fly high in the sky and you don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air. How does hot air has anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. I can't understand it at all. But that is true. That is true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. In 100 years of time, all these things will become knowledge. I suppose they might be. Mind you, all of the science being demonstrated seems to be very questionable. Something went wrong on the open experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was a huge explosion. Still, I wish I have seen it, though. I love to see how bad some of these scams experiments really are, says the innocent 10-year-old girl. See here, every page of this paper carries some article or other about the great exhibition. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadow that are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere. You fucking edgelord. Shadows cast behind me. Is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? Maybe he's just being an edgelord. This will continue articles about the science, technology. I wish we would have done one of those, like, nowadays. What's the last time there was a gigantic exhibition like that? Because those that did happen. The Reaper attacked. Okay. Lord Van Dixon. Let me... Public Health News, Santa Barbara Hospital, Public Health Reports, Lost Cat. GS. King Charicon 70 Revenue Ruling Award Prize to Michelin. Rufus aimed to intimidate a man of justice. Lord Van Dixon compatriot Connor. The Reaper attacked. London's news, the great exhibition of all nations, Eye of the World around the Crystal Tower. First test of matter transport device. Every article on the front page is about the great exhibition, public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, cultural exhibits from around the world. It's also positive and hopeful about the coming century. We almost go to see it properly before too long. Can I move and see any other news? Can I open? No. Okay. Is it just going to be one thing for the whole page? Let's look at the cat. That is not a... Sorry. I cannot. I'm bad with 3D. No. No. Close. Nearly there. There we go. That is not a drawing of a cat. That is an actual photo of a cat. So many glowing reports about the great exhibition and everything that's going on there. Other than this rather gloomy looking one, that is. Wait, what? What's the matter, Bruno? Ooh, Outbound Gas Company. Fierce Ballgoon sets dance hall. Fierce Ballgoon sets dance hall ablaze. Well, they sit in a blazing hall as one of the latest of this has then caught fire. French court hears glass icon. The judge was presented with the most curious case. She refused to pay her dues for the purchase of one glass eye. Expected fashion, the king. The winner will be the man, but the young American lady by the name of Maria Michelle of Nantucket, Massachusetts. I do want to read this random articles they put around it. The Reapers attack it. That's Lord Von Zix. Must be what Mr. Sholmes was talking about. Does he know anymore, I wonder? Okay, so nothing else we can click. The shadow cast behind. Is there a metaphorical way to refer to the back page? Are you investigating a particular tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? You could say that, I suppose. Nothing more to add, that's not like you. What sort of case? Shh, quiet, Mr. Naruhodo. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening. You're acting very strangely, Hurley. What do you mean, Iris? Oh, usually, the more mysterious and complicated the case is, the better Hurley's mood is. Is it really a case that is bothering you? Iris, please, you must not exercise your astute powers of observation and deducing on me without invitation. Remember what I always said, put yourself in the shoes of the individual about who you are making deductions. You say that, do you, Mr. Sholmes? Never mind, once I have my cup of tea, I must make way at once to the crime scene. That was a deep sigh. It says in the paper that Lord Von Zix was attacked. That's terrible. You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey, of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact. Yes. Prosecutor Baron Von Zix. We do not need to Why? You do not need to repeat this shit. We've been with him for the last 7? No. Honestly, not that many, actually. Like 4 cases. Yeah, 4 cases. They say if the Reapers... I'm not just... Well, we know this. We know this. London finest rogues always find a way around the law. They will stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at trial. Falsifying information, pension witness, threatening jurors, bribing judges, but even such devious tactics as this cannot save them from the hand of the Reaper. As I have experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I have seen the Reaper's retribution at work. Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. Did we establish that McGilded was killed by the JoJo guy on the 5th case? That he was the one that did the whole thing with the blazing carriage? Yeah, I think so. Because I spent the entire game thinking it was like one of Chief Lord Justice schemes to be evil and control everything and be the final boss. But at the end, everything I suspected him of doing, it was actually someone else. Was he the one that supplied the government secrets? Maybe. I don't remember. That he was going to sell, that Mr. Jojo was going to sell. What was the name of the JoJo guy? There was a whole thing about finding his true name at the middle because of his surname. And he was actually the son of thrice-fired, the Manson guy. Okay. Anyways. Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among among their fraternity, it seems to have. If a leader among their fraternity, it seems to have been it seems to have been taken by the Reaper. A retaliation like this does occur. Okay. Really, the capital has a never-ending supply of such scoundrels. So, do you mean Lord Van Zix has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time? He's quite accomplished combatant, you know. He doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. Oh my goodness, is he alright? Is Lord Van Zix hurt? My dear fella, how on earth would I know? Well, in the article it says, as to what of Lord Van Zix and his conditions, I will be reviewed in tomorrow morning edition. Ah, I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then. No, I cannot wait until tomorrow. Are we? In that case, you shall have to inquire with somebody in the know. But who? Lord Strongheart, perhaps? Well, I must be leaving now. Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes. You really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow. What? You seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you'll be wasting your time. The thought haven't crossed my mind, but now I am wondering where you're going. Ha ha ha! Well then, see you later, indeed. Listen to him, he's still laughing on his way out of the door. Oh, that's a new sprite. Alright then, Runa, let's get going. Oh, Iris, what are you wearing? I got changed to go to the Great Exhibition. You are going to take me. But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court. Oh, well, that sounds fun too. You're gonna take me there then. Alright, fine, just lower the weapons, would you? Of course, and after the Supreme Court, we will just go to the Great Exhibition. Makes sense to me. Oh, she has her own drawing. Lord Chief Supreme Justice. Always with the pigeon. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice Officer. Been 6 months now since I was last here. But some things never change. Like the sense of foreboding, I always seem to fail in this place. I am now looking at the logo on the chair. No. If it looks like the emblem on the collar. It doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all though. She's happily reading over there. Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here. Of course, I was forgetting you have been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago. My Susato-san was giving the news. She was to return to Japan. Okay, I cannot see the logo here. Ah, I understand you wish to speak to me? Okay, it's not the same. Oh, Lord Strongheart. I trust you've been keeping well. It has not been added to the court records. Let's see, since you arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I have kept you waiting for a while. My apologies. Oh, not at all. I like nothing more than to stand around staring into space. Good to know. Good to know that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Mayo Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London, M.S. is the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. You need only savor the air for a moment in this great officer to understand his preeminent status. As you're aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We are extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crimes. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh, I have not heard about that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it. As we are the hosting nation, I have much to do. It is my highest priority. If others must wait for my invitation as a result, so be it. Well, it's nice to know where I stand. So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is all about. Well, thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there is something else playing on my mind as it happens. You know, just take a deep breath and come out with it. Actually, I came here today to ask for your permission. Go on. 6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked, and I was told to spend some time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, it made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system. And I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again. Naruhodo? Yes. I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role. Well, that is true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend to the study too, not me, we don't need to see that. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. That was his calling. If only he wasn't tragically killed by the honestly stupidest death in the series. Mr. Asugi was my best friend, you see. That's why I cannot leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him. His calling, you say? Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling? Sorry. The mission which that young law student was charged, what do you suppose it really was? What do you mean? Mission? Never mind. I have read all the reports you have submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studying studious obeying your revised instructions. Do you mean? As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain. Thank you so much. That's wonderful news, Runa. In fact, I believe I have a perfect case to mark your comeback. A curious affair. Why are you like... You consider it, I hope? Of course, please tell me more. You describe it as a curious affair? Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday? Oh, no. Yes, I read about it. A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment. Let me see how to describe it. Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think? Instantaneous kinesis, as in moving things with a click of a finger. That's right. It's just what my herbal blends need. Sorry. Ooh. A dash of devil may care. Whatever this serious accident was exactly, it clearly captured Ari's imagination. It's an unfortunately business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimental stage, and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odie Osman, an investor and a well-known figure in society. A large explosion. A man died. The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Harrybrain. He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow on the charge of murder. What murder? If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet him at the prison. There is very little time for you to carry out any kind of investigation. The Great Exhibition, a scientific experiment gone wrong, and murder. I feel out of my depth before I even started. Still. You should go to the prison straight away then, and try to meet with the German professor, don't you think? Definitely. Was the terrorist German or... no, or was it Russia? No, I think it was Russian. It wasn't German. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was German. Okay. Yes, one more thing about the case. There is a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper. Oh, with Lord Van Zix. How? All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them all will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium. It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific method, doesn't it? Exactly. London, the global epicenter of culture, size, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible. Which is what known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly, the future of policy. I wish the Ace Attorney have actual voice acting. But I would like to report the cost of the game because these games are very low budget. I think at least the first ones on the Game Boy were. Then I was gonna call it the newest ones, but I feel like the newest Ace Attorney game is like 7 years? When was the last time we have a new Ace Attorney game? It was 6 or was it Grace Journey? Ace Attorney series. I'm curious now. Ace Attorney series. Grace Attorney 2 Resolve was the latest game in the series. Published in 2017. So 9 fucking years ago. That is a lot of time. Why did it take so long to make a new one? 9 years. They have been publishing a lot of packages. I'm pretty sure. Can you play the entire franchise on Steam now? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have the Mayo. You have the Investigation Duology and you have the Great Duology. There is only one game in the franchise that you cannot play on Steam, which would be the Ace Attorney and Professor Layton crossover. But aside from that, the other 10 games are all on Steam. And I have played most of them. Still 3 to go after this one. I have played half of the franchise then. Oh, that is still a lot to play. Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensics methods. Oh dear, that is alarming. Actually, it's extremely alarming. I do need to play the investigation game sometime. If I were Her Majesty Attorney General, you can be sure that the number of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim. Sorry. By way of apology for keeping you waiting early, I shall detail every one of them. I am looking forward to it. 12 and 223. I am looking forward to seeing it. How fascinating. It all began 15 years ago. No, let me actually see it. And that's more or less sum up my feelings on the matter. It is the simplest of terms, of course. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division with Scotland Yard. That is my mission. Oh, right, yes, that is wonderful. Exactly, wonderful is precisely what it means. Like, Naruhodo, your entire motivation is to follow Cosmo's wish, which in your mind means using the Great Britain justice system to re-establish Japanese law, and you are in face of Lord Chief Justice, who is now giving you a gigantic speech about reforming the system. Like, you should be so fucking happy to listen to this. This shit is really big for you. This guy is really important, my dude. Exactly, wonderful is precisely what it will be. Iris is not paying attention at all. She got her nose in another book now. Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful? I actually drift off for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic science. Present people. No, that's not what I wanted. Can I not present people to him? Sorry. Oh, right. Oh, that reminds me. I haven't seen this. The reports of the overwhelming success of the exhibition. Of course. No. The story on the back. What story? The Reaper attacked. Ah, that. You enjoy some victories in court against my number one prosecutor, have you not? Poor Mr. Reaper, what happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he? There is no need to concern. Lord Van Zix would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you. Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know. Very well. If any interest in you, it does, strangely. Fortunately, Lord Van Zix emerged from the attack and scattered. Straight weapons are no match for the man. He's a very capable fighter. But that's incredible, they were armed with guns. How was he attacked though? Do we know? It's related to the events that occurred a month ago. A leader of one of the capital criminal organizations was indicated and prosecuted by the Van Zix. But the man was acquitted. I have no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes. Large sums of money. A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday. You're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely? The victim's henchman certainly seems to think so. He was a man by the name of Osman, Mr. Audi Osman. Did you say Osman? That's the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition. Yes, though publicly as an ambassador, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization. Unbelievable! I wonder, could I ask you something, Lord Strongheart? Try me? Why do you use Lord Van Zix as a prosecutor? Because we need to kill some bitches sometime. All the criminals who managed to get off in court then met with mysterious end outside the courtroom. And fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Van Zix first. I know there is no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still. Something clearly going on here. I have Van Zix work for the prosecution service for two reasons. Because Strongheart is the one who does the killing after. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. The game has not done a good job of actually showing that. And secondly, and Any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside of the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him. That doesn't make sense. How can you explain the way so many have died, if not by someone's hands? Zix may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. So he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. And then you go and kill the person. Well, I must be leaving for my next appointment. Did he say appointment? No, engagement, sorry. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleges may be starting to fiddle. 11 hours? That's quite something. The meeting have already started when I arrived here for the engagement with you. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man. I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh yes, where would I find Lord Von Zix now? I would assume he's at his office. Right, I'll go and ask him about the attacking person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. Oh, away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Harrybrain defense entirely in your hands. Of course, yes, thank you very much, my lord. No. Okay, we have two options. Let's go to prison first. Hello. The warden said cell 11. That is this one. Oh, there is someone curled up in a ball in the back of the corner. Look. What is his name again? Professor Albert Harrybrain, wasn't it? Excuse me, Professor Harrybrain. Who are you? I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a defense lawyer. A lawyer? Was it something I said? A lawyer, you say? Would you be here about the experiment? Are you gonna defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, yesterday demonstration. The magnificent demonstration was out and out success, but by anyone's calculations. But despite that, no one listens, no lawyer believes in the science. When they explain, they all live at high velocity. Now is probably not a good time to mention that your Zio made my concentration leave for a while too. Hello. Okay, you mentioned demonstration yesterday. The papers have been calling a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in the explosion, didn't he? Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose in the strictest sense, the experiment was a failure, but at the same time, it was a great success. You lost me. I saw in my own eyes, right there in front of me, Mr. Asman was spontaneously disabled. Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations have predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the crystal tower by instantaneous kinesis. However, the machine exploded and Mr. Asman in fact perished. Yes, I cannot deny that part of the experiment was a failure. So what you're really saying is the large explosion that killed Mr. Asman was an accident, correct? But the big wings have you arrested on suspicion of murder. I was responsible for a man's death. There is immutable truth here. And for that, I wish to be punished at once. But murder, never in a million years. It was an accident. Simply an accident. You see? Hurley and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whenever it was treated as an accident or murder. How exactly? Well, if it was really an accident, then the professor machine would be kept in the protection custody. On what grounds? Yes, it's nearly established here in Britain. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. That won't pass me by. But if the case is treated as a murder, then the 007 machine was the murder weapon, and they will be able to pour over it as much as they like. If they examine the details, they will find out how it's made, and then they will be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected from that at all costs. That is why it's imperative that the whole incident is shown to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial. I see now. What if we made so it was a murder but it was someone else? Well, it would still be murder weapon. Would it? If the explosion is the cause, wouldn't... It's the police, they grab whatever they want. So in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday. Yes, or rather, no, the devil's in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion. Sounds the same to me. You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis. Kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating. Sorry? Humans, like all matter. Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by an electrical bond. So it must be possible using sufficient high voltage to break those bonds and bend the particles through space. That is it in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see. That's my amazing hypothesis. Yeah, that is unimaginably high-level science. Oh, but dare to imagine, dare to dream of such incredible technology. Just think, one moment I could be here in this cell, and the next I could be at the Great Exhibition again. Oh yeah, that would be incredible. And the next, in a mere blink of eye, I could be at the Great Paterson Theatre, you say? The possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach. So no more hiding wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days? What? No more hiding wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days? What? I'm assuming that's like a movie reference or something that I'm just blanking on. I don't really see it like that. What do you mean? Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantaneously, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like you have shrunk. My word, that is exactly right. What are the implications? What does this mean? Look like I got Professor Bunnybrain really worked by the look of it. Clearly this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose. The point is, my calculations are flawless. The science works. But without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. That is always the fly on the ointment. Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have. That is exactly it, yes. Hurley always complained about it. He said the government should invest more in science. Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the very well-known investigator, Mr. Asman, the victim who died in the yesterday terrible accident. You mean? The full name of the man who died after the accident was Mr. Ori Asman, wasn't it? What is exactly your relationship with him? He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago. He said he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. I thanked my lucky stars. I see, so you haven't really known each other until then. Money for scientific research. I'm so envious. As far as I'm concerned, the man was an angel. Really? An archangel, even. He was prepared to found a particular demonstration of my hypothesis. Sorry, he was prepared to found a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the great exhibition. My eyes are falling down. Come on, work my good eye. Let's just finish this conversation and I can save and stop. And if that went well, I could expect additional funds support for my research from the British government. The Asman provided me with money, an exceptional engineer. He produced the machine to my precise specifications. But then, your dreams were blown to dust in one enormous explosion. As you can see, I owned everything to Mr. Asman. I would never, ever thought of taking the man's life. Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying. Okay, let me save and then we can stop for today because I am falling. Let's just keep going though. So, as always, if you're interested in watching more of my content live, I try to stream on Twitch every day. If you're interested in watching my old content, I try to archive everything on my YouTube channel. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you will join me tomorrow. Bye bye!